Hey everyone, welcome to our monthly Connect and Serve broadcast, where we come together to celebrate community, connection, and purpose. I'm Steve, and we are so glad that you are here with us tonight. Your presence and support truly make a difference in this mission that we all share. Let us know who you are and where you're from in the comments. You never know who's in your area and ready to serve. Tonight's broadcast is going to be packed with inspiration, updates, and stories of impact. We're going to talk about some exciting upcoming events, highlight how small actions lead to huge changes, and give you the inside scoop on the latest Hives for Heroes updates. And yes, we've got some awesome giveaways tonight. Stick around because at the 45-minute mark, we'll be giving away 2 $100 gift cards for beekeeping gear. All you have to do is type in military in the comments when prompted. So stay tuned for your chance to win. All right, first off, we have a message from our board, and I'm just going to read it. Military Appreciation Month is a time to honor and recognize the incredible sacrifices made by our military service members, both past and present. At Hives for Heroes, we proudly celebrate the dedication, courage, and commitment of our heroes who continue to serve their communities through beekeeping. It's a chance for all of us to reflect on the profound impact they make, both in service to our nation and through their ongoing contributions to conservation and community building. Thank you to every hero who continues to make a difference. Awesome. And thank you to our board for your efforts. You're often leading behind the scenes, but your wisdom is truly invaluable. So a big shout out to all of our heroes out there, veterans, first responders, mentors, and newbies alike. Your commitment to service, connection, and community is what makes this movement strong. Make no mistake, you are different. We are different. And there's a huge reason why this org continues to learn, grow, and lead throughout the country. We also want to take a moment to introduce and thank 2 amazing new team members, Sherelle and Kate. Sherelle, a veteran of the U.S. Air Force out of Roanoke, Virginia, has taken over our administration. With her experience, I believe we will all be in good hands. And Kate, U.S. Army spouse in Indiana, has jumped headfirst into our social media. Kate will reach out to people from time to highlight your efforts in beekeeping, sharing the love and impact this organization has collectively done. She can use your support, though. Show your love and appreciation by liking, sharing, and commenting on everything you can. After all, we are better together. Ladies, your hard work and dedication and passion for serving others truly embodies what Hives for Heroes is all about. So welcome to the team. A huge thank you to our headquarters, state leaders, mentors, and everyone who continues to support the mission. Your consistent efforts are making life-changing differences across the country. And of course, we can't forget our sponsors. Thank you for believing in our mission and helping us make it a tangible impact. Your commitment to and trust in Hives for Heroes will never be taken for granted. We aim to not only continue to serve, yet increase services and opportunities for our nation's heroes. We've got some exciting events coming up, so mark your calendars, get your pencils out. These amazing opportunities are there to learn, connect, and serve. So first up, if y'all don't know it, tickets have been on sale for the North American Honeybee Expo. Cayman and the team are happy to welcome y'all. That is going to be January 26th. So yes, it is a great deal away, but planning is already taking place. Great conference. Lots of people from all over the country join, and that is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, the second week of January. We also have the American Beekeeping Federation Conference in January of 2026 as well. This one's on the same weekend as the NOD, so you can select which one you want to go to, whether that's geographically or cost concerns. And that's going to be in Mobile, Alabama. They have a ton of people that show up there as well, are constantly supporting our heroes in many ways. And it should be a very, very good time. Mobile, Alabama this year. And also the American Honey Producers Conference in December of 2025. Again, this is honey focused, a lot of commercial honey producers there as well. So if you're interested in that, that's in December of 2025. These are incredible chances to gather and share knowledge and strengthen the community as a whole. In many cases, We will all be getting together as a group for dinner. This has been a wonderful experience. We do dinner or social hours at these events and make it more personal. The emphasis is on connection, sharing stories, getting to know the person behind the veil. As these events have become popular, we are excited to continue to grow a space where all people and organizations are welcome. Also, we are thrilled to announce our bottling event on July 5th, right here in Houston, Texas, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the American Legion. It's going to be a day filled with food and fun and community spirit. Plus, there will be some special guests and surprises, so you don't want to miss out. If you're in the Houston area or planning to visit, this event's a fantastic opportunity to get hands-on with the bottling process, meet fellow beekeepers, and share some laughs. We'll have food, music, and a few surprises lined up, making it a day to remember. Plus, you'll get to see the behind the scenes of our honey production process there at the American Legion. Everybody is welcome to join. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our special guest tonight, Wendy Mather. Wendy is a remarkable leader in the beekeeping world and co-manager of the California Master Beekeeper Program. She brings a unique blend of social service work and adult education to her passion for honeybees. Tonight, we will share insights from the California Master Beekeeping Program curriculum, tips for lifelong learning in beekeeping, and her journey of integrating education with community service. For her full bio, there's a link in your Hive Insider newsletter that you received yesterday. So please, everybody, welcome Miss Wendy Mather to the stage. Hi, how are you?
I'm well, and I'm so honored to be here, as is my guy, Morty. This is Morty, everybody. Hello. He's decided he wants to plant himself up here. So rather than have him barking in the background, I thought it'd be better that he sit up here.
I think that's a great idea. We're all included here. And I know a lot of us love our dogs, service dogs, and just our pups to begin with. It's pretty what they do for us.
I hear you. He's a rescue. So, and you know, as rescues do, they often rescue us. So, yeah.
100%. I have a rescue as well. Her name is Maddie, and she's incredible, but she now has more anxiety than I do because of bees.
Oh, wow.
Yep, yeah. I was able to transition from Maddie and the meds to beekeeping, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, I am really happy to be here, and I am happy to serve Hives for Heroes in whatever capacity I personally and the California Master Beekeeper Program at UC Davis can. It's the least we can do, honestly, for the service that all of our veterans, our current folks who serve as first responders, our mentors, just deep gratitude, deep gratitude.
I feel it as well. We've just had such an incredible journey, and it only continues. And of course, we work with you guys on some levels, and we're so proud of those that have gone through the California Master Beekeeping Program and all the other master beekeeping programs as well. And to be able to provide these scholarships so that we can remove those financial barriers from anybody leaning towards this, knowing that it really does matter. You're affecting more than just yourself, but your family and your communities alike.
Yeah. It's we as humans, we might know it or not know it. We're hive mind. You know, the power of one is the power of all. The pain of one is the pain of all. We're all connected, very much like the bees are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I could start by telling you some stuff about the program, or I could give you a little bit of background about where I am.
Either way, because we're going to talk a lot about it in this session. We got some questions queued up. We talked a little bit before the call, and so excited to get into this. So the easy softball question is, what inspired you to start beekeeping, and how has your journey gone? How did it begin, and how's it going?
Yeah, thanks for that thoughtful question. Really, I came across beekeeping through a friend in my faith community, and essentially, I had some experience writing grant proposals, and I wrote one, and they won it. They won the funding. And then that same organization, their COO had to go on medical leave. They needed somebody to pinch hit. They invited me in. I'd never kept bees before, and of course, one of the things was you have to at least have 2 boxes. You can't show up and be the front line answering phone calls from venerable beekeepers across North America and not know how to keep bees yourself. So you better get on it. So, and I should state that this is all in just outside of Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. So I got into bees. I was mentored and taught by the best, the tech transfer team at the University of Guelph. Wow. And my husband and I decided to get into it as well. So we ended up having a couple of different yards. At one point, we were running a couple of dozen colonies on an organic farm, which was awesome. We were able to pull off hundreds of kgs of honey each fall, and got into a real nice rhythm. And I happen to have a good friend who owns a farm right around the corner. She took all my honey. It was super easy, and I was able to sell my honey through her. And one of the other things that I really enjoyed about that experience was a lot of the kids in our neighborhood love to come over and help paint the bee boxes. So I ended up with these really wild colored painted boxes with handprints and paw prints and all kinds of designs. And it was just a real community building experience right across the board. And honey harvest as well, especially. We would have extended family over for big barbecue. Everybody'd be all sticky. We'd have our hands in it. Yeah, it's just a great, like I said, a great community building experience. And then we moved. And when I landed in California, I couldn't keep a bee alive for the life of me. It was, yeah, it's a completely different experience. Wow. Going from having brood breaks, going from, seasons to when we moved here in 2012, it was quite dry and hot, and it took me a while to get my beekeeping feet under me, if you will. And thankfully, due to a couple of really great mentors, I was able to find my way back to the box. And now I've only got a pallet. Basically, I've got 4 hives that I run just to keep myself grounded, centered, and still for the most part. That's my happy place, my peaceful place, my bees. Yeah.
Wow, that is such a full and complete first question answer. I mean, you're from Canada when you think in metrics, right? You're not from the United States.
Yes, yeah. I'm naturalized though. Yay! I've been a citizen now for a year and a half, so loving that.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. And then all those things that you were just talking about. I mean, these are things that are so familiar to us, of just working with somebody or having the solitude of being alone, even working your bees and having that peace and calmness. There's all levels of beekeepers. Maybe you have no bees and you're in a community yard. Maybe you have 1 hive or 2 hives or 6 hives, or a commercial beekeeper. But we all kind of utilize them for those different reasons. And I'm similar to you. We have a few hives that we just get to keep because we've run a lot. And that's not where we're at anymore. We're here to be able to serve in this capacity. And then you are serving in a larger capacity as well. So tell us a little bit about the California Master Beekeeping Program and the mission there.
Yeah, sure. Train the trainer, bottom line. Like you, the more knowledgeable, the more science-based beekeepers that we have out there, the more mentors who are science-based we can cultivate as well, the more people we can dispatch to assist those who need it, basically. And the formula which we've landed on in California is a partner organization style. So basically, we've got now, I guess it oscillates variable between anywhere between 5 and 9 active hubs, let's say.
Okay.
And so if a person is looking for somebody to mentor, say I live in an apartment, or I live somewhere where bees are just not allowed, because that
Mhm.
happens, especially in Southern California, because there are some, well, same with Southern Texas. We've got some overly defensive bees, right? So you got to know what you're doing if you want to keep yourself and your neighbors safe, and you don't want to spoil it for everybody else. You want to make sure that you have some knowledgeable science-based leadership. So we've got basically these hubs across the state where people have showed up and have established some really wonderful community. Everybody comes together, they work in common apiary settings. It works really well, like I said, for those who live in apartments or can't have bees for whatever
Mhm.
reason. And just build team in that regard. And that is also a great way to perform outreach, to raise level of awareness as to why bees are important, what they can do for you, what you can do for them. Yeah, just stuff like that.
And it
Yeah.
becomes, like you said, that community aspect, doing it, again, to the aspect of better together. We can't do this alone. I mean, one beekeeper can't do it. So like, get over it.
Yeah,
We're in this together.
yeah, for sure. I can share my screen if you want, super quick,
Of
and
course.
I can take you to, let's see, I'm going to select a tab here and I'm going to share. Hopefully you can see my screen. It's like, can you see the California Master Beekeeper Program screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, so you've landed here, and certifications, of which we've got 4. So you can start at the honeybee ambassador level, move on to the apprentice level. You can start at the apprentice level if you've kept bees for at least a season. After the apprentice level, we've got the journey level. And then if you really want to go big and go home, you can do a master capstone. Our capstone level might look a little different from other master beekeeper programs because ours is project based.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to explore the levels, you can read about benefits, resources, etc. Then moving on down the row here, I can show you the class catalog. And I'll do this through the planning guide, because it gives you an overview of basically, if you're a honeybee ambassador, you're an HBA, you can start out exploring beekeeping, introduction to beekeeping, and just learn about the honeybee colony. And all these are at no charge if you just want to certify at the honeybee ambassador level. We charge for certification. We don't charge so much for the classes within those certification levels, unless, of course, they're in person. All of these that you see here are all online remote, except for Introduction to Instrumental Insemination and the Queen Ring Technique short course.
Those would be
With
tough to do remote. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So in our apprentice level, we cover everything from planning ahead to for your first hive, work in your colonies, for Varroa, general honeybee health, installing packages, etc. About wax working, honey extraction, honeybee products, and we do an intro to meat at the journey and the apprentice level. We've got some ancillary classes over here just on pollinator basics, creating gardens and just for interest. A lot of master gardeners love those.
Oh yeah.
And then jumping over to the journey level stuff, we've got some advanced anatomy and physiology. We've got tech in the apiary, which is pretty popular. We actually cover some stingless bees, which is also, it's always great information to have. And like I said, our intro to II and queen rearing techniques. In fact, our queen rearing techniques course is happening in person at the lab in Davis on May 31 and June 1. Registration is open for that. And our II course is happening in person on June 28th at the lab. Yeah, so it's worth checking out if you are interested. So I'll pop back here and we'll move to the knowledge base. And cool fact, knowledge base is public facing. Everybody is invited to check out all these resources. So we've got requeening, we've got stuff on grafting, we've got stuff on defensive bees, urban beekeeping. If you want info for your 4-H or for your local apiary or your club, please check it out. We've got a pretty comprehensive safety guide, which is available to anyone. Yeah. For California, anyways, we tried to, there's like 52 different counties in the state, and it feels like almost every single county has a different muni code. So that this is always in need of update, but it's a start. Absolutely. We also have info on bee removal, of course, honey tasting. And if you like to do outreach for kids and you're looking for some ideas, reach out to us. We've got more ideas than we have space for. So please, we're more than happy to support. There's a member tab on the website where we track beneficial educational experiences and community or continuing education hours and stuff, right? And if you're a candidate on our prep site, here we start with outlining master project guidelines, and then our journey preparation resources and our apprentice. I'll click on the study guide for the apprentice level just so you can have a peek as to what it looks like. So the program overview, we cover safety, what you need to know for your practical and oral exam, and then history, biology, just general hive concepts, managing your colony, maladies, basic IPM, products, and other additional resources. Yeah, so that keeps us busy.
It's almost like it's comprehensive in some
It
way.
It is really comprehensive, and we're pretty excited about that, actually. So basically, that's an overview of what we can offer. So there's a back door for members if you choose to certify, and of course, Hives for Heroes steps up at the end. You show up, you pay in advance, you certify, you can get reimbursed through Hives for Heroes to support you, which is significant. $250 to certify at the apprentice and the journey level, $300 at the master level because it's a more comprehensive walk-along experience. It's more one-on-one mentoring at the lab because there are 5 tracks that, well, a minimum of 5 tracks anyways, right, that if you're planning to do a capstone project, you can do one on native bees and pollinators. Oh, you nice. You can do one on commercial beekeeping. You can do one involving scientific research, policy development, and oh, the 5th one's escaping me right now, but it'll come to me later. There's well, you can start your own bee club. You can anything that brings you joy. Bottom line, I love that. Because if it brings you joy, you're more apt to finish it, right? We've had people write books. One of your a fellow I know who is an active member in the state of California for Northern California right now. He's published a record keeping book already. In my humble
my buddy
opinion,
Gary Burns.
yeah, he's already done his capstone project, but his life is so full with mentoring and teaching.
Yeah.
He's not quite gotten around to the formalizing the certification, let's say, right?
He's on his way, because
He is.
we of course we love getting to talk to all our, all the people in the org, which is pretty fantastic. And he did that, and then they're also available on our store as well. So his guide is on the Hives for Heroes store.
Yeah.
It was such a great gift from him. And as you know, Gary, he's just so
he's all about serving. He's all about serving. Yeah.
Also a former VFW commander, so his service continues for sure. So I mean, that's a tremendous amount of service. So the big question for probably a lot of people on here is, do you have to be a California resident to go through your programming?
No. Gosh,
oh, wow.
No. And you saw that most of it's remote, right? So we've had folks, I've had a guy from England. We've had a couple of people in Canada. We've had folks on the East Coast. Hawaii, you don't have to live in California. And we also have an asynchronous online class. It has 12 chapters that you can do. You can pay to do that. You don't even need to do the traditional certification if that's not your bag, right? Yeah. We got to do, we need to be in alignment with what we need when we're learning, right? We got to feel safe. We got to feel comfortable, confident, and like if we need help, we can get the help. So we're trying to address all of those different avenues when it comes to our certification program. And hey, if you take the exam the first time and you miss it by a few points or 25 points or whatever, because I don't know about you, but exam take is not my bag. It's not my comfort zone. You just do it again. Not a big deal. Yeah.
There is something for everybody out there, and just dig in just a little bit of the research that you want and do it at your own comfort level. People learn at different levels. People learn from different experiences. The organization is not here to put you on a distinct path. We say the journey is the goal. So whatever that looks like for you, we prefer to have a lifelong hobby in beekeeping, right? But if that's not for you, at least you were able to overcome some fears or some traumas or expose yourself to something different that might be beneficial in the future as well. So if you're in beekeeping forever or you're only in it for a day, at least you tried. And that's huge. And then you have a community here that's going to support you, and a bunch of ancillary organizations, because there's no use in us recreating the wheel when somebody like California Master Beekeeping Program has the whole wheel. Why do you need to recreate it?
Well, that's why we love the partnerships, right? So, it's time that the other Master Beekeeper organizations, and we've talked behind the scenes a little bit, but we want to come together more frequently and just share how can we make each other better, right? Just like Hive Mind, yet again, there's something for everybody, like you said.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. Again, it gives you the power of choice, which is super important, right? You get your power back. It's the power of choice. But all these different aspects, like for example, Montana is big on the commercial side. Everybody's kind of got their thing. UF has a huge program out there that we support. And the whole point is for you to get into the comfort level of what you would like, and then go crush it. Just have a great time and crush it. So we talked a little bit about, this is a lot of social stuff, but how does your social service background influence your approach to beekeeping education?
The word that's coming to me right now is the peacefulness, the importance of inclusion. Yeah, it's and I struggled for a bit. I needed therapy. I needed peace. I needed to feel grounded. I needed to I needed to do something. And I wanted to, get my proverbial crap together. And I ended up going to school for what I needed to learn. And so I went back in my late 40s, got my S.S.W, and ended up being offered a teaching position at the college that I was teaching at. And I did that for a couple of years and realized at that point, it was also just before I moved, so it was a perfect transition time. I need to move. That's just my makeup. So I discovered through beekeeping that it meets all of my personal requirements. I'm in nature. It reminds me that I'm breathing. I'm working with stinging insects and fire, which can be really dangerous. So there's this element of extraordinary respect and mindfulness that I'm called to every time I step foot in the apiary. I get to play detective because I never know what I'm going to find. It's different all the time. I get to
sometimes, unfortunately, we play corner too.
Right?
Autopsy.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get to turn off my tinnitus for a bit and listen to the hum of the bees instead. I get to turn on my sense of smell and use that from a detective perspective, as well as just I enjoy the smell of bees and wax. And just feel alive and present, which and slow down. You have to be kind of like qigong, like when you're in an apiary, you can't just bull in a china shop through it. Yeah, you just really, so for me, that was key. Just being mindful of every single movement and connecting my brain, which seemed to travel a couple of miles ahead of me all the time, to the physical movements. And when I discovered that, that's medicine. Was my medicine.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, and the social service piece is like, you have to, there's some people that, and I was this way for years, I didn't even know how to describe it. I didn't have words for it. I didn't know what, the mindfulness tactic was. It's just being present. I mean, there's some kind of training that they do in some aspects and you overhear things, but to me, the bees actually presented it to me. I got to experience it and then I could communicate it. Prior to that, I really didn't know.
Yeah, true. And when I moved here, I had no friends. It's like, poor me. And it's like, if you're a beekeeper, you can move anywhere and you've got instant community.
Yes.
It's so important. I mean, one of our basic needs is to belong, right? And it met that need. I can join bee clubs. I can serve, and service, again, just helping somebody else became a medicine for me as well, because if somebody else is feeling good because I showed up, then I feel good too, right? So yeah, it's a classic.
Giving that keeps giving. I mean, you can't get time back, and it's so powerful to be able to share time with other people, something that truly can't be restored, and you choose to serve in that capacity is incredible. And especially when the gratitude is shown, not in anything monetary or things like that, but it could just be a look or, a breath. And you're going like, I remember that. That's the first time you breathed, huh?
Right? Yeah. Or I wasn't thinking about anything else except for, what I was looking at that point. And that's key. That's key.
I shared a story, and some of the people on this call were actually at this with the Wounded Warrior Project event that we did. And we took about 15 people, warriors, through the hives. And one particular young lady brought her husband, and she was like, this is not really for me, but since I got it, I brought him. And so she did not want anything to do with the bees. Complete, fear, didn't want to be around it. So I just shared with her, like, go ahead and just stay in the door, right? Stay in the door. You can watch. And she was still scared they were going to come attack her and only her. I was like, no, it's fine. We're going to be out here. We'll draw the attention, draw the fire, and you be out there. And it took almost half an hour, but at the end of that, she opened the door, put on a suit, then opened the door. And then probably every 5 minutes, she took another 3 or 4 steps towards us doing this exercise. And by the end of it, I was asking her, would you like to hold the now? She finally got her way up to the back of everybody else. And she was like, no, I'm good. And then at one point she was like, I'd like to hold it now. So everybody was so supportive. They all parted for her. They were all encouraging, calmly encouraging. She held the frame and she was like, oh my gosh, like, this is incredible. And then she couldn't stop talking about it. And she was like, I know that I don't know anything about bees, and that's totally fine. But what I did today, this was in the after brief. She's like, when I did this today, I overcame fear that I never thought I was able to do. And it was collectively in a community doing it together. And it warms my heart. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can relate. That's one of my first memories of keeping bees at one of the first beekeeping classes that I attended. I went in thinking, please let me get stung so I know what it feels like, so I won't be so afraid all the time anymore. That anticipatory fear of, oh my God, I'm going to get stung. Mm-hmm. The whole day I didn't get stung. And then as I'm walking out, I walked through a patch of clover. I got stung. I took my boots off. I got stung on my ankle and thought, oh, God, ow, for starters. Okay, that's what it feels like. And for seconds, okay, I'm not going to die. It's all good.
Everything is good.
Yeah. I can.
But it's that ability to overcome fear that it could just be that you haven't done that in a while, or maybe you just haven't made the decision to, we used to talk about get out of the barn into the bee yard, or get off the couch and get into nature, right? Those types of adages. It could have just been that one step that completely changes your life. That's why it's so incredible. Yeah. What the bees do, right? Yes, we do this collectively, but we get to steward these amazing creatures and really have a profound impact and connect. One of the biggest lessons that I learned was letting go of control, right? I'm not perfect at it by any means, but you can't control the hive. The more you try, the worse it gets. So just use that metaphor in life and breathe, calm down, let things take effect, respond versus react. Those things are transferable directly to life from the hive, and they give you immediate feedback.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. It's like, what are the facts, based on the reality of the circumstances, not on my story that I'm telling myself.
Yes. Ray Brown.
Right, yeah.
That's powerful stuff, Wendy. I'm telling you, you got wisdom.
Well, it just, like I said, years of therapy and bees. That's
absolutely. So back on to bees, what are some of the most common challenges that you see? Because you do see a lot of things, you get a lot of feedback. And one of the comments was, the 80% losses, heavy in California, pollination, overwintering, et cetera. What are the big challenges that you're seeing, and how do we look to overcome those?
One word, varroa. Yeah. And overcoming is in process, I guess. There's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of stuff being thrown at varroa. And we're also anticipating tropale lapse in the near future too, right? So we're going to have a double shot of, again, crap, which is really gonna. I'm not going to predict some scary future. Yeah. Right now, the most important thing that we can do is to maintain low mite levels. Always, always, always. Yeah. And once we got that covered, we're good. Yeah. Then we can meet the basic needs of feed and just keep checking, make sure you're queen right, make sure you've got the genetics that you want. If you're dealing with pissy bees, you're not going to want to go to the bees, right? So it's also important to make sure that it's that you set yourself up for a pleasant experience. And if you're not having a good time, then reach out for some help. local bee club, and just get some help. People are always willing to help. And when it comes to the close to 70% losses, our field specialists at the lab at the Bee Health Hub will tell you that's been happening since late last summer, and it's just a matter of the compound effects of Varroa getting out of control, and how the viruses, unfortunately, are just becoming more virulent. So we have to be even, well, even if you can get your mites to 1%, that would be best.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
you'll never have no mites, but 1% is best. Yeah.
so again, if you don't know on this call, if you don't know what she's talking about on that, we don't dive that deep into this. But again, the programming is there, the education is there. We have the online course from Arkansas that's there as well. These are things that you would like to know, right? These are conversations that people are going to be having around you, and I would prefer that, to contribute to a conversation, listen and learn as much as you can. And then with those that have questions, be able to have a response as well. That, again, to Wendy's point, is science-based.
Yes, science-based. And it's with all of the distractions that are out there right now as well. Beekeeping is pretty popular. So there are a lot of channels we can hop on for advice, information. Always check the science, check the source. Yeah. And ask a few people. That's the other fun thing about beekeeping. Yeah. Oh, I wonder what kind of answer I'll get from them. I wonder what kind of answer I'll get from them. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, just see what works for you, as long as it's science-based. And Google Scholar is amazing. Honestly, it's accessible. Anybody can just go into Google Scholar, put in a question, and scientific papers will pop up. And I'm no scientist. I'm a social scientist, but I'm not a trained entomologist. But I know how to read, and I can read an abstract and pretty much glean, something from it. And I happen to work with folks who are entomologists. So if anybody does have a question and I can't answer it, I can get the answer.
The power
Somebody,
of right
somebody always has the answer. Yeah.
And they've spent 30 years doing it. I'm not going to catch up anyway, so why try?
Yeah, exactly. And I can't remember yesterday as it is. So yeah, it's yeah.
Do you have maybe a success story from the Master Beekeeping Program out there in California that like maybe you saw a profound effect in somebody in changing them, whether that was either online or in person? Do you remember any stories like that where it's like, wow, they changed the trajectory of life?
Gosh, a lot. The one that's coming to me involves a dog right now. So, I know a gentleman who is in his mid 70s now, and when he joined the program, late 60s. And there's a
awesome
dreaming at the crossroads. What to do next. And he'd never been a dog owner before. He decided that he wanted to train an American foul brood sniffer dog.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, which was quite unique based on what the state of Maryland has for their apiary program. He did a lot of research. He, as I said, never owned a dog before. He got the dog. He set everything up, protocol, training, etc. COVID hit. So that was a bit of a barrier, but he still continued. And at the end of it all, when he was finally ready to present his capstone, even though Buzz, his golden lab, was not as successful as say the dogs in Maryland were, the dog still could sniff out AFB, but not consistently enough
Okay.
to warrant certification as a certified American foul brood sniffer dog, and he can go out on apiary, estate apiary ride-alongs, etc. It didn't amount to that. But what it did amount to was this incredible relationship between a man and his dog, and the confidence that I saw him develop. He didn't even know how to use a computer.
Wow.
And by the end of it, he was presenting and sharing screens, and yeah, it gives me goosebumps.
Good for him. That's incredible.
Yeah. So no matter where you are in life, what you're doing, there's always room to grow. Yeah, there really is. And it's easier and more fun to do it with a bit of a group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun. And
Yeah.
that's so overwhelming, if you will. So right now, we'll take a short break. It's time for our giveaway. So if you can start typing military into the comments for your chance to win one of the 2 $100 gift cards that we give out every Connect and Serve Live. Thank you for being here. So also, don't forget, if you didn't get your newsletter, the store, the Hives for Heroes store, is offering a 15% discount throughout Military Appreciation Month. So just use the code military May at checkout. Military May at checkout for 15% off. Military. So thank you to all the military personnel that are on here. We appreciate you. And let's see, we got some comments in here, so I'll go through some of these. Yes, we can get the California Master Beekeeping Program website out to you. Joseph also said that he met that dog this past weekend, so that's pretty cool. They got a smallish yard. Best strategy for adding a colony to a small yard. I don't know. What do you say?
I don't know. It depends. It all depends on the law. Yeah, it depends on where you live. It depends on what the resources are. It depends on how close you are to your neighbors. It depends on how depends on your climate. Yeah, there's so many depends, honestly. So yes, in a small yard, you can keep bees for sure. Just make sure you start by checking with the local rules and ordinances in your community, and then check on the genetics that you can keep in your community without them turning overly defensive if you're in a tight neighborhood.
Yeah.
That'd be
we have one that just installed their bees. Dwyer Family Co. installed their bees this week, so they're having a blast learning and having that experience, which clearly, you know, the ones that have been around for a while know how exciting it is. And even, I think we had 2 or 3 from our headquarters staff just today helping others install nukes, which is really, really cool. So bringing people into beekeeping and supporting them just the way a friend and a neighbor would. You know, it's kind of just, you know, the number one rule here is just be a good human. It'll be okay.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
Yes. And that's the key. Involve your neighbors. Invite them over, have fun, give them honey, invite them to the honey extraction. Then everybody's into it, and it's a community event, and the community ends up supporting you instead of, you know, calling on you and saying they've got bees and I want them to get them out of my yard, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've learned those lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
So now that we've heard some of Wendy's journey, I want to have a little fun with you on a speed round. I know, I think you'll do all right on these, but give us your just quick thoughts on these questions. They could be one word, they could be a sentence, whatever that looks like. But what would be your favorite bee-related memory?
Just Tuesday, caught with my bare hands a male valley carpenter bee. Held it in my with my bare hands, and we had special needs students in the yard. And if you're holding a bee by its thorax and it buzzes and somebody else touches you, they feel the buzz as well. It just transfers. And then the next person, it's electrifying essentially.
Oh, the energy.
So recently that's been my most favorite. Yeah.
That is very cool. I'm going to have to try that now.
Yeah.
One word that describes beekeeping to you.
Unity.
Unity. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Best advice you've ever received.
Listen.
Ooh. See, I told you, Wendy dropping wisdom bombs over here. A beekeeping myth that you would like to debunk.
You don't need to feed your bees.
Ooh, controversial. Look at that.
Yeah.
I love it because, again, what she said earlier is, you ask 10 beekeepers one question, they'll give you 13 different answers. You come back in 5 minutes and you might have more different answers. It's quite fun depending on the situation.
And you don't need to feed your bees is the myth. Okay, I want to make that clear. Yeah. Because I think depending on where you live, you do need to feed them.
Yeah, it depends on what their resources are, right? And that's another thing of following these patterns and understanding where you're at, your resources that are available to the hive, and in the areas, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do on research to include just the ecology around your area, which is really, really cool to study as well. What is the first thing that you do after inspecting a hive?
I take a big breath. Yeah, and when I'm done, I actually like to lie on my back under the landing board and watch them come and go.
That's awesome. I have a sigh of relief as well of either the bees are healthy or something went, but it's still like an accomplishment is what it is. It's that little bit of confidence that, okay, we got through this again. And I feel like that plays out on a regular basis. So I think Mila's going to drop those names into the channel. So we did a random drawing there. So thank you for everybody who put military into the channel, and she'll drop that in there so we can see it. And we'll do a couple other questions. A book every beekeeper should read.
Oh, I don't know, fiction or science based, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I hadn't had that one before.
Yeah, I just finished Mia McNeil's Bee Club. That was fun. I like Mad Honey. That was fun. I liked the Beekeeper's the Beekeeper's Handbook. I like as well. Simon Terrell. Yeah.
And do you have a favorite honey recipe?
Yeah. I just have a cupboard full of honey, and I drink a lot of tea with milk. And and honestly, I did candied walnuts yesterday for my salad, and I just put a little bit of honey on the walnuts and heated them up, and that's super easy for me. Yeah, that'd be my favorite. Simple.
I love it simple too. I'm just like spoon, honey. I'm good. And then I'll drink my coffee and stuff. But I love the flavor and taste. And then we have so many varieties out here with the Heroes honey that it's beautiful to like even of course share it with others too. So people come over and they're like, well, why are they so different in color? And we get to share and explain that. That's pretty fun. We already know the best way to unwind after a long day. You're just laying there enjoying the time.
Yeah, and I'm really fortunate because where my apiary is now, there's a huge big pond, and I get to sit on the edge of the pond and just be. Yeah. Wonderful.
And this is kind of a weird one, but people have their preference. Your go-to hive tool.
Just basic. Yeah, I don't do a J-hook or anything. It's just a flat nose tool. Boom. Yeah, that's what I use, my hive tool. And I'll never go without a veil, a hive tool, or a smoker. You gotta have all three. Yeah.
And for me, I'm indifferent. If I have a pocket knife, that's what it ends up being. Sometimes you're out there and I'm like, wow, where did this go? We're 100 hives in. I'm like, oops. All right. And then one thing, and although I will tell you, there are some friends of mine that will say, if that tool comes out of your hand, you've already failed the test. So don't ever do that. And then we have some other ones. People have gotten the gun magnets, and they put them in their pockets, and it sticks to them everywhere. I think Troy does that, and Stan does that, and a lot of people. So that's a pretty cool way to do it as well, and never lose
Agreed.
the hive
Agreed.
tool.
Yeah.
And then one thing, last question, one thing you wish more people knew about bees.
Their importance, their significance, and how they model a community for us. Yeah.
If we just look and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your support clearly and your effort means everything to us. We definitely appreciate the things that you guys are doing out there. Y'all have a team that's running things. Y'all have a bunch of incredible people that are there, here to support not only California, but everybody else that wishes to learn. Again, as she mentioned, all those things are free. We're paying for the certification if that's what you desire. If you don't need the certificate or anything like that, that's fine too. You're the only one that will understand the knowledge and the experience that you are gaining, and then you'll be able to utilize that as a gift, hopefully for somebody else as well. So thank you, Wendy, so much for being here tonight.
It's an honor. It's an honor to give back in service to your wonderful group, your initiative, the collective that you have held the container for, which is growing, and growing. So anything we can do to continue to support that, call us, let us know.
Absolutely, will do. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Again, it takes everybody in the organization to do this. We have so many incredible leaders and advisors and sponsors and donors, and we truly could not do that without them. And we just want to continue these services. If you haven't looked on the website, clearly we have scholarships for Be More. Be More scholarships are startup based, and those are after your second year. BU scholarships are open all the time. So if you're going out and getting that education, we want to help you in those efforts. And then we also have fellowships that are out there. More information will come out there because we are standardizing these things. And we have multiple fellows out there that are working with us in really, really important endeavors, and being able to not only be around the bees, but be around the community and share and serve in these capacities. So thank you all so much for being with us tonight. Your support and effort means everything to us. Remember, small actions make huge differences. Just like the bees who work tirelessly for the hive, we will be here for each other. Keep showing up, keep serving, and keep spreading the word about Hives for Heroes. You truly are making a difference. Next month, we'll be joined by Mr. Stan Gore from Texas Friendly Beekeepers, and I can promise you, you will not want to miss that one. Thank you again to all our military. As a former Marine, I can't thank you enough for your continued service right here. Until then, stay connected and engage with us on social media at Hives for Heroes. Join the Hives for Heroes Hangout on Zoom every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. And remember, your commitment to service changes lives. Thanks again for being here, and see you next time.